Hello, and welcome to your tour of the Memory Care Home Solutions Dementia Training Venue. It is our goal with this space to show families a wide range of ideas to make home a more supportive and enjoyable place for people living with dementia and for their family care partners. We want every family to find solutions they can easily and affordably implement in their own homes. A dementia-friendly home can still be warm and inviting while setting people up for success with everyday activities. We encourage our clients to think about the brain as the computer processor for the body and for all of the senses. So while it's true that dementia is a memory problem, it's even more so a processing problem. The brain is struggling to process all of the information coming in to make sense of the big picture. So what we try to do in a dementia-friendly home is make the processing demands easier so that the person doesn't have to work so hard to figure things out. Come with me and I'll show you how to remove barriers and set people up for success. Welcome to our living room. We human beings need activity. Activity adds structure to the day and gives us purpose and meaning. So to help people with dementia engage in their daily activities, we like to create activity zones where there are easy, accessible activities with reminders to encourage people what they can or should or are supposed to be doing. So here we have an example of an easy household chore with a note asking mom to please help fold the laundry, because people even into the progression of dementia can retain the ability to do familiar repetitive tasks. We also have an example of simplified technology. We have a lot of adult children who are caregivers who complain that they get the call at work that the TV is broken. The TV is not broken, it's because the remote is too complicated for the person to operate. So we simplify technology and show people things like universal remotes with just a few buttons that set a person up for success with operating their TV. We also encourage people to leave just a few strategically placed photo albums, coffee table books, and magazines that people can enjoy without needing to remember the plot line or the characters of a novel. So people who've always enjoyed reading can still enjoy engaging with a book if we make it something that's a little easier to follow. And here we have an example of a safety zone. One problem we try to prevent is wandering. There are a few visual cues to discourage a person from using this exterior door. So the stop sign is a universal signal to stop and not go any further. Door alarms, easy to install and very affordable, help a caregiver hear if a person is trying to leave through this doorway. And for people in later stage of dementia progression, we like to recommend dark floor mats. So the brain might perceive this dark surface on the floor as a hole or a void. And if the person's afraid that their foot might sink into this hole, they will avoid walking in this area. Here we have an example of how we set people up for success with getting dressed and ready in the morning. Many of our closets are packed full with clothes and even overflowing. Those are too many options for a person whose brain isn't making sense of all the bits of information. So we help families learn to simplify a closet. If we reduce the choices and group outfits, we've set a person up for independence with choosing clothes and getting dressed for the day. We also use visual cues on dressers to label where items are so people aren't frustrated and searching for things. We recommend fall detection devices. If they fall, the gadget will pick up the fall and automatically call for help. Another piece of technology that really helps caregivers are motion sensors. This product is marketed as a wireless driveway alarm kit, but we use them all throughout the house. The sensor can be placed near a bed in case you'd like to know if somebody's getting out of bed at night, and the caregiver carries the portion that alarms so that they are notified if a person is getting out of bed or moving to an area of the home that might not be safe. Here we are in the kitchen, where there are many opportunities to set people up for success and independence, but also to prevent a crisis from happening. And one area where we often see terrible consequences is with medication management. Some solutions are the use of low-tech aids like a simple pill planner or strip packaging, which clearly says the date and time that each dosage of medication should be taken. And you can ask your local pharmacy to package your medications this way. Bubble packs also reduce the risk for errors. And again, this is something your local pharmacy can provide. In addition to these low-tech solutions, we make recommendations for people regarding automatic pill dispensers that even have alerts and alarms when it's time to take your medication. And we certainly want to be proactive in preventing kitchen fires. So here are a couple solutions. One, we've simplified the use of the microwave by covering all of the buttons except for the 30 seconds and the start button. Really hard to start fires in 30-second increments, so this improves the safety of the microwave. This is called a stovetop fire stop, and if a fire starts on the cooktop, this will extinguish the fire. We also recommend for people who shouldn't be cooking when they're not supervised, removing stove knobs and installing an oven latch. Here are some great technology solutions for the kitchen. We have a day cycle day clock for general orientation, a Wi-Fi camera for remote monitoring and also for two-way real-time communication. And families are loving the Amazon Echo Show. It allows for daily reminders and also drop-in video calls. So the person with dementia doesn't have to press any buttons, but their family can drop in on the screen for a social visit. We recommend that you select a wall to create a message center. And you can do this by hanging a large print calendar and also a whiteboard to keep track of the day's agenda or any other important information. And it's so important to set people up for independence in the bathroom with personal care. One of our favorite tips is to do task setup in advance. And that just means clearing the area of any clutter or unnecessary items and grouping just the ingredients you need for the next task, which, as you can see on our vanity, is brushing your teeth. You may think there's no mirror in our bathroom, but actually, we have camouflaged or disguised our mirror with an art print. And this is a modification that we sometimes need to make to mirrors anywhere, not just in the bathroom, perhaps in the hallway or dining room. But we can cover a mirror to prevent confusion or fear. A lot of bathrooms are very monochromatic. It might be a white tub with white walls. And that's a very confusing environment for people with dementia. We recommend adding color contrast so that people can more easily identify where one surface ends and the next begins. So by adding color contrast, you add structure to the bathroom environment. People feel safer and they're less likely to fall. And there are so many wonderful options for adaptive equipment in the bathroom. Some of the things that we recommend most are toilet safety rails, shower chairs, handheld showers, grab bars, and tub transfer benches. All of these items help people be as independent as possible, keep them safe, and also make the task easier for care partners. Thank you for joining me today for the tour. I hope that you learned some practical strategies that you can easily implement in your own home. At Memory Care Home Solutions, we help families understand that we can't change the person living with dementia, and we wouldn't want to, but we can change the home environment, the daily activities, and our own caregiving communication and approach. For individualized treatment to help your family master these skills, reach out to Memory Care Home Solutions today to schedule your consultation. Visit our website and click the Contact tab to get in touch.